Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Way Show. So happy to have you with me this evening. A little bit, no, right at 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast. And I know I usually come on at 7. I know. I try to come on at 7 when I can. I got insanely busy today with a bunch of calls and stuff I had to take care of. So I could not come on at 7, but I'm here at 7:30 doing another thing which you often ask me about. You ask me often to do AMAs, right? To have a chat about what you're concerned about. I'm happy to do that because I know sometimes the chat wants to walk down a certain way. So yes, that's that's why I'm doing that. So I'm having him, but I do want to start with something that I think happened just today. Two things happened today that I think were kind of important and are topical. So my team gets happy because I'm topical. So I'm going to be topical before I go there, and because I think they are linked to what I've been talking about, and they're kind of important and show what's actually happening here in America. What does that mean? Two things happened today. One, Mike Johnson was elected Speaker of the House. You might say, so what, Larry? Why does that matter? Well, because if you remember, there was some battling back and forth between Mike Johnson and then Elon and then Trump and then there was some battling back and forth. But in the long run, Johnson's still Speaker. You might ask yourself, why? Why would they do it? Why wouldn't they try to fight him or whatever? There was all of a sudden there was a problem, blah, blah. Yeah. There were some issues, no doubt. He didn't get it right away. There was some, as they say, arm twisting being done. But what often happens is people recognize, savvy people do. And recently, only Republicans do this. Democrats don't. And I think it's their mistake. I think Democrats should do this, but they don't. When Republicans realize they have some leverage, they tend to try to get something for their vote. They tend to not be as lockstep as Democrats tend to be. Now, obviously, exceptions, obviously, right? But they're trying to get something for their vote. Most of the people who were already on the Johnson train were already getting something. So they were happy to be in lockstep. They're getting what everyone get, that kind of thing. But there were some that were like, well, no, I want what I want. So you want my vote? Well, then you got to give me something. So there's some back and forth. I've been telling you this for literally months now. Some people still think that Trump's mandate's so strong, he can just get whatever he wants, right? But no. They have to compromise. This is the thing I've been talking about before. There has to be a compromise. It has to work. This is not now, but this is something else. Trump does still have a mandate. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to try to take away his mandate. He still has a mandate. That's true. But a mandate isn't magical. And I think this shows that a mandate isn't magic. It means you still kind of get what you want, but you still got to fight back and forth. There's still establishment there, and it always has been. So that's piece one. The second piece I want to bring up is Trump now is going to be sentenced. His 34 felonies, the horrible man that he is, well, I don't think he should have that felonies. But besides the point, whether I think it's correct or not is irrelevant. He has been convicted. That's true. He is a felon right now, and he will have to be sentenced. Now, the thing that bothers me about this, there's many things that bother me about this one. Number one is that the judge literally said two things. Again, I'm going to be, Larry, you're going to be mad at judges again? Yes, I'm like always mad at judges. The first thing is the judge says, well, sentencing him to jail is out of the question. And then people said, okay, great. Why? And what did he say? He said, well, because he's president and blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's the reason? Not because the charges are garbage and he doesn't deserve jail? Not because he's special. Which again, if you're going to tell me that the president's special, okay, I'll buy that logic. If you're going to tell me that, okay, well, then why do you even accept the case? If you're telling me that you cannot put him in jail because he's president, which I'm not saying is wrong, what I'm saying, well, then why'd you take the case? What if you had found out he was a terrible guy and multiple charges and whatever, so he can't go to jail? Well, then why you try him? Is it a show trial? Yeah, it is, isn't it? This validates the whole thing was a damn show trial. Because if you can't put him in jail, if that you're telling me that, and he did not say, the judge did not say you can't put him in jail because the charges don't warrant it. He said the opposite. He said, the judge said, Well, yeah, actually, we could put him in jail for those charges, but not because he's president. What? What? Well, first of all, he's not president yet. So officially, he's not even president yet. He's president elect. So because he's going to become president, that's the reason why. Okay, then why did you even go through the trial then? That's the first piece. But then the second piece that makes me angry, yet again from a judge. The judge says, well, his rhetoric, is now bordering on dangerous. What? Bordering on dangerous. So Trump saying how he thinks the judge is bad, that's bordering on dangerous. So the First Amendment right to say that the charges are BS and that this is a show trial, which you've just admitted, is dangerous. Why is it dangerous? It's dangerous because judges can't stand anyone ever questioning them ever. How dare you? How dare you in any way whatsoever, judge me? I'm a judge. I'm above reproach. And I'm not joking. They believe that. That's why they think that if someone takes a judge out in any way, shape, or form, takes them down in any way, shape, or form, the system collapses because without them, there's no system. They're the reason the system sucks. They're the reason the system sucks. And they believe without them, the world would end. Nobody would even notice. If you replaced our judges tomorrow with algorithms, at least 2/3 of the country wouldn't even notice. Just put an algorithm instead and have like a face pop up and say what was going on. At least 2/3 of the country wouldn't even notice. Oh, okay. The algorithm in a robe gave me some. We save a lot of money on robes. Just like one robe. That's all you'd have to have. Save a lot of money on that. No salaries. Be great. Yes. I have completely, I know I'm bothered by this because I'm triggered because judges. That's kind of my thing. But yes, yet again. But will it affect his mandate? I think my view is Trump still has a mandate. I don't think it changes his mandate. I think Johnson will still go out of his way to try his best to follow the mandate that he believes Trump has. I think he will. But Johnson is still establishment enough to keep the establishment people satisfied. Like he's established enough. Like they're like, okay, yeah, we'll take him. Okay, we'll take him. Like Rubio, that kind of thing. I think without question, he still has a mandate, but it does show that his mandate will be guided by the establishment still. Still there, not going to go away. For those of you who love RFK Jr., I think this does not affect RFK Jr. at all. I think this has nothing to do with RFK Jr. at all. That is my view on that. I hope that was clear. Let me grab comments and questions because this is an AMA. Before I get there, though, you know what I want you to do. You know, right? I mean, you say, what do I want me to do? I know. Click with your nose or your ear or your gluteus maximus or your elbow or whatever you want. Whatever you want to do, click that thing. Whatever you want to do, slam it. The button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Yes, click that button. It doesn't matter. If you haven't reshared this or reposted this, please do so. Repost it on X, share it into Facebook or whatever the case may be. Do that. If you have not subscribed, it's because you hate me. I don't know why you do. I love you. Why don't you love me back? Subscribe, follow me on X and Rumble, all the things. And of course, click all notifications on YouTube when you subscribe. That's when you get the buzz, the link, you get that. And of course, please super chat me if you want to go right to the front. Super chats are always important. Rant me on Rumble if you want to. Also, if you happen to be watching on Rumble, you become a member on YouTube. Click that join button, the button known as Juliet, Oscar, India, November. You thought I didn't know those. I know all of those. Yes, I do, of course. I was in Marine Corps for many years. I do know all of them. Absolutely. I'm giving Mike Voss, every time I do that, I'm giving him PTSD from his time in. I know I am, but that's okay. It's because I love you, Mike. That's why, because I love you. $4.99 gets you membership. Click that join button on either Larry Sharpe or Sharpe Way. You head over to Rumble if you want to. Same thing, click subscribe during the live, and that will work also. Let me grab some comments and questions if I could. Shine says, hello. Hello, Shine. How are you? Good to see you. Lunatic in the house. I'm glad to see you, my friend. All right. Lunatic says, 47 super chat dollars. Well, the good thing is this is an AMA, so I'm very lenient on everybody taking stuff. So please still super chat if you got the cash. Great to do so. But on AMAs, as you know, I just tend to go down the list and try to grab everybody I can. I try to grab everybody I possibly can on AMAs. So you don't have to be a member to do the AMA. You don't have to super chat me. I try to get everybody if I possibly can. So yes, that's why the AMAs is so special. AC says, they get 30-minute warning. That's because I didn't put one out. Literally my phone calls that I was working on today, trying to get some stuff done, didn't end till after 6 p.m. I was rushing to get this one out. I was considering no show tonight. So I put this up like 5 minutes ago. That's why you didn't get your warning. It wasn't you. It was me. Yes, it was me. Mike Voss says, happy Friday. Happy Friday, brother. Absolutely. Lunatic says, I had a drug test for DOT. As a veteran, I just contacted Wisconsin Rep and Thomas Massey for the committees in Washington on the DOT. Oh, interesting. Okay. I hope you get your job. That'd be great. Yes. James says, all that drama within the GOP just for things to be done on the last minute of the first ballot. I wish he kept going into January. Yes. No, look, the reality of it is most of the time, they know who the speaker is going to be. The last couple of times was kind of special. And again, the reason why this is happening, and I know I'm a broken record, but I hope you guys are seeing it because you compare this to the past and probably to the future. The Republican Party is going through a lot of pain right now. Now, if you're not a Republican, you may be like, good, let him go through pain. Maybe you don't care. If you are a Republican, you're probably concerned because it is going through growing pains. I shouldn't say growing pains, it's not right. Changing pains, a metamorphosis, right? Is it going to become whenever a party becomes a big tent party, it struggles. Again, doesn't mean it can't do it. I keep saying this. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm saying you're going to struggle. This is not easy. You saw it with the Civil War happening. You see it with this. It is just going to be a struggle, right? And again, if anyone can do it, it's Trump. He's got the biggest personality in the goddamn country. If anyone can do it, it's him. Or as you've heard me say 1,000 times, I'll keep saying it. If the Republican Party does not do the right thing for them to become a bigger tent party, you are going to see Bill Clinton 3.0 show up and reboot the Democratic Party with some kind of charisma. It's going to happen. It's how it always happens. Mike says they should have picked a new speaker. Johnson's too establishment a week. It's compromise for the RNC. I don't think Johnson's weak. I agree with you on the establishment. I have seen Johnson have a quiet strength, Mike. And when you have a second, kind of like look at the way he acts, he never seems like he's flustered. He never seems like he's angry, really. I mean, not really, compared to others, right? He seems to always be confident. He has a quiet strength. He's not weak. He's just quiet. But you're right. He's establishment. But I don't think completely establishment. Not totally, right? He's not like Mitt Romney, right? He's not like that, right? He's not totally establishment, right? He's not, I don't know, Graham. He's not those people, right? He's establishment, but not too establishment. I think too maybe is the wrong word. That's not completely establishment. How about that? Would you give me that one? Maybe. But I think you're off on the weak part. I think he's actually stronger than you think. I mean, he battled through this when some others couldn't do it. So I do think so. Phil says, old man Massey holding the line. As always. As always. 100%. 100%. Massey impresses me constantly. He's wrong here and there, little things here, but I would take him as my congressman any day of the week. I would take him as president any day of the week. I would take Thomas Massey for anything. I vote. Yes. Yes. Take him. Absolutely. 100% take him. Yes. Lunatic goes on to say, invasion of privacy and not recognizing alternatives for vets with PTSD and THC metabolites can screw themselves. CBD legal now. This is the part that has driven me crazy for a long time. Is that government is always so slow, and then we all pay for it. You are correct. There is no doubt that there are lots of veterans. I mean, just probably millions, surely hundreds of thousands, but probably millions who have found some form of peace with either a psychedelic or THC or something that they've self-medicated that the VA would never accept, that government would never accept, and they can't tell you, and they lose jobs, lose opportunities. And again, to your point, for many veterans, we like going from the military to another government job. And you might go, you like government jobs? Often veterans do. Why? Because there's that same structure you had before, and you have it in the government job too. Not just that. Sometimes, depending on the government job, you get credit for being a veteran. Like they give you extra points on a test. They give you extra points towards your retirement or something like that, depending on the job, obviously. You may get that too. So often they like it. And if it's like a police department, a sheriff's department, there's also almost like kind of like a brotherhood that you had in the military, and you also get in some format, often if you're in some form of law enforcement. So it's common that veterans want to have government jobs. It's common. Obviously not all of them. Something the best like also, by the way, is finance. For some reason, seems odd, but it's true. And also franchises. So you do find that in the veteran community. But anyway, my point being, I think you're exactly correct. It's a shame that it's that way, but it's absolutely true. Duke of Heck says it's a battle between establishment Republicans and MAGA Republicans, two extremes in the party. Yes, I'm not sure they're extreme anymore, though. I think most of the party, I think most Republicans, both elites and voters, I think both would probably put themselves in one of those camps. But also, the other part is the Elon Musk side, the tech bro side. Is that establishment now? Is that not? I feel like there's a part that's almost like I think it's almost three. Almost three. No, not even almost. I'm going to go three as you're making me think this through. It's establishment versus MAGA and tech bro. And MAGA is more of the people who've been here for a while in that part. We've been here for a while, right? And then the tech bro side is more the newer people, and a lot of them are former Democrats. So that's why the Maha side also comes in. But so far, the Maha side hasn't picked a side. And the reason why, I think it's a brilliant move, by the way. Why hasn't it really picked a side? Why? Because the Maha movement is not trying to be overarching. It's trying to just control one part, like one chunk, just the health side. Like that's what it's focused on. And the other guy's like, oh, it's fine. You guys go over there and fight over there. You can have that. Like MAGA and the tech bros, they're actually fighting for control of the party. That's actually happening. Like they're trying to control the party. Maha's like, you guys fight. It's fine. Can we have this regardless of who wins? And they're like, yeah, fine. We're fighting over here. You can keep that. And I think Maha, that's why when I mention this, I don't think this affects RFK Jr. at all. Whoever wins, I don't think it affects. I think whether it's MAGA, whether it's more the tech bro side, whether it's more the establishment side, well, establishment is going to be against Maha. But the establishment is just trying to hold on. They're actually in the worst position. They're going to be a piece of this, but they're just trying to hold on. So I'm giving you a little bit of pushback, Duke of Hex. A little bit of pushback. That's all I'm saying. A little bit. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Philip says, who will judge the judges? The answer will be no one. That will be the answer. No one. Yes. Lunatic goes on to say, all the cases were exposed in the swamp. Yes, the problem is we can't get rid of it fast enough. You are correct. We can't get rid of it fast enough. We are moving slowly but surely. And then why Liberty says they painted themselves into a corner with these charges. Yes. They're showing themselves as bad and dumb, and the judge doesn't know any better because the judge always thinks whatever I say is awesome. I'm a judge. I'm a god. Whatever I say is law. That's how the judge thinks. The judge doesn't care. Says the stupidest stuff. What are you gonna do? Nothing. There's no punishment for this judge. The judge literally said, "Well, he's president, so that's why we can't put him in jail." And the judge also said, "No, these charges you could go to jail. So someone else you put in jail, Trump, you won't." I'm not mad at him for that. But then why did you go through it? You just said, I'm not going to take this case. I can't put this dude in jail. And what he did is worthy of jail. And that's what the judge said. The judge believes, or at least said, who knows what the judge believes. The judge said, no, these charges are worthy of jail. Oh, okay. So put him in jail. I can't. Why? He's president. Then why'd you take the case? You're telling me that it's special. Okay. Don't take the case then. I don't get it. So now it's just show trial. They're going to now say, well, and what they might do is might just go, well, you're guilty. Shame. Leave my courtroom. Literally show trial. Shame. Ooh, you now can't vote in New York or whatever they're going to tell me can't do, which she'll do anyway, but it doesn't matter, right? Whatever. That's crazy. So the AC says, what if he hadn't got elected? Would they have put him in jail then? I would argue no, because they wouldn't care about him at that point anymore. This was a political show trial. So no, he wasn't going to jail either way. If he was going to go to jail, if that was going to happen, it wasn't. But if it was going to happen, They would have rushed it through and put him in jail a long time ago. If he was going to go to jail, they would have rushed it through and put him in jail a long time ago. If they were gonna, they weren't gonna, but that's how you would know if he's going to jail. These charges would have popped up earlier. They'd have put him. They would have done everything early on. They'd have knocked it out, months and months ago, and he'd been in jail. But they were never going to do that. Pete says 36 trillion, 169 billion, 957 million, $618,760.21. The national debt, which today exactly, no one spoke about. Yeah, Pete, that's who it was. No one spoke about it today. No one. Just in case you were wondering who spoke about it. Yes. Corsair 60 over on Rumble says, got to see the end of globalist Mitch McConnell. Well, he is on his way out. So there we go. He will be on his way out soon. Absolutely. Yes. All righty. He went through the motions, Lunatic says, to prove the motions are BS. Yeah, I know, right? Yes. The AC says, sentence him to 10 days. They won't. They're not going to put the president in handcuffs. They're not going to put him in jail. And to be forward, they shouldn't. They're not going to, and they shouldn't. If they actually did it, the harm that would do to the nation. If it's me, like if I'm him, I go, don't do it. If I would literally say, if you're going to put me in jail, I'm going to have your officers arrested. So don't bother arresting me. I will have your officer arrested. And then if I'm president, I will have the judge arrested. I'm the president and do what I want. Supreme Court just said so. So you want to try to arrest me? You can. You can try if you want to. I'm going to have my Secret Service and the FBI arrest the judge, and everyone tries to arrest me. They're all going, in fact, they're going to Gitmo. I'm sending all of them to Gitmo. I would just tell the judge that. Come. You're all going to Gitmo. And I'll see you never. He can do it now. The Supreme Court said, I'm trying to do my presidential duties. You're not letting me. And if I'm doing presidential duties, I'm basically a god. So the Supreme Court has allowed him. He can just say, you try to arrest me, you're all going to Gitmo. Done. Arrest away. See you all in Gitmo. So, you see, and Trump might do something like that. I know I would if I was Trump. You give me all that power and I could and you're going to arrest me on some bullshit charges. You're going to Gitmo. The Supreme Court just said I'm powerful. I'm a god now. So yeah, he's not doing that. Yes. It says, imagine rhetoric being dangerous. Yes. Sadly, they all believe that. Yes, absolutely. Yes, 100%. Phil says, less show trials, more show tunes. That would be better. I agree. Pete goes on to say, and you're right, Pete, Biden has 17 days to cure cancer when we get the job done. Any minute. Any minute. You don't trust him, Pete? What's wrong? Any minute. It's happening. Probably Monday. I'm going to guess cures Monday. That's my guess. Monday. Maybe Friday at the latest. I have confidence in my president, Pete. I know you do. Of course you do. Duke says, $100 says charging Trump with BS charges. Open the door to charges Democrats with BS charges. Welcome to Banana Republic lawfare from now on. I really hope you're wrong. Nope, I didn't say you were wrong, Duke Effects. I didn't say that. I really hope you're wrong. I think we have to at one point stop. If you hear the rhetoric from Jeffries, I hope he's serious with his rhetoric. I don't know, right? Hakeem, who knows what the hell he's going to do? I don't know. But I'm hoping, and I'm hopeful, because I don't want you to be right, that he's serious with his rhetoric. I think he fears that too. And they should. The stuff that the Democrats did, the lawfare they used this year against Trump, against RFK Jr., against so many people, the lawfare they used needs to stop right now. Like that needs to be the last year they do that. I'm not saying it is. That needs to be. And I hope Hakeem Jeffries is serious with his rhetoric. His rhetoric said, we're going to stop it. That's what he said. I hope it's true, because I know he's concerned, because Democrats don't have the power. They're the ones who are going to be, right? They're in trouble now. Let's hope they stop. Let's hope that Republicans stop. Let's hope they end this. If they don't end this, you're right. Because now everyone's getting charged for everything. Everyone's getting invested for everything. It's going to be a mess. Because, and am I mad at them all getting in trouble? No. I mean, I don't care about that. But my worry is what I just said. If any president, any president, all of a sudden realizes that they can't get their job done because everyone's getting arrested and everyone's getting charged, he's just going to counter arrest everybody. And what the Supreme Court just did, no one can stop him from arresting anybody. He can literally drone strike American citizens. That's okay now. Well, it was okay when Obama did it. Now it's double okay. So now it's double okay. This is like my governor. Make something illegal, legaler. Now it's double legal. You can just drone strike people, Americans. Before, at least you had to go to the country to do it. Now you can do it here. So yeah, we don't. This is I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. Yes. Monkey See, Monkey Do says, replace judges with golden retrievers. I would actually like that. Yes. Mike says, golden retrievers will do anything for a treat. I like how you think. Well, so will judges. Just find the right treat. So yes. Michael's going to say, put an ankle bracelet on him and he can't leave the White House for the first 100 days. Well, then how would he go golfing? See that? Vivek says, it means Doge will not do anything substantially. It would have been incredible if Vivek or Massey was elected speaker. This is, I think, what Mike was saying. Mike Voss, sorry. This was Mike Voss. A couple mics here. I think this is Mike Voss's point. He thinks that Johnson is too establishment to get anything done. He's establishment. I think you and Mike, we all agree with that. But I don't think I think he still wants his speakership. And he only has it, I think, because Trump decided to accept it and go, yeah, okay, I'm in, and back him. If he loses Trump saying, yes, we're good, he might lose it. So I still think something could get done. That's all. I'm thinking that stuff could still get done. That's it. That's my hope. So Gene says, already clicked and shared. Here's my first comment. Bruce go, oh, thank you so much. Yes, thank you. So Lunatic says, Vivek is another Musk. Yeah, that's true. They both are. They're tech billionaires. They're tech guys. They're part of the tech bro side of the new Republican Party. Yes, I think so. So chances I cracked my screen. Well, you shouldn't have used. Okay, don't go crazy. But okay, sorry about that. Hope it still clicked at least. So yes. Mike's like, hoorah. There we go. Yes, absolutely. Phil says, it wasn't the Marines doing attacks on New Year's, only Army. It's true. Special forces, though. That's true. Absolutely. James says, I was happy for Republicans being divided while booing Democratic unity. I wish Republicans remain divided and Democrats also fought amongst themselves. If they actually did, I mean, the Democrats kind of, how do I explain this? The Democrats are also in a kind of civil war. They are fighting against each other. However, the difference is the establishment Democrats are just so much more powerful than the Republican establishment, right? They just are within their parties. And the difference is 2016, when Trump, the Republican establishment did not believe Trump could actually win this thing. Clearly they were wrong, but they thought that, like, there's no way this guy, he can't, forget about it. The Democrats knew Bernie could win. And so they went out of their way to crush Bernie in 2016. And they did. And once they crushed Bernie, they set up a system to where they are in charge lockstep. The Republican establishment made a mistake. They thought Trump can't win. He's crazy. No way. They were laughing at him the whole way through. Jeb Bush is our guy. That's what they thought. And then Trump wins. And now he has a storm of people who've come in. And so now the Republican establishment isn't as powerful within the party anymore. Democrats are fighting too, but most of them have to leave the party. They're falling apart. They went to Green Party. They went to Jill Stein. They went to nobody. They got mad at each other. They're still fighting with each other. Well, oh, why did you sell out and support Harris when you should have supported Jill Stein? They are too. The problem is, since their establishment is so strong, you don't see it. It's almost out in periphery. But they are fighting too. So, if it makes you feel better or not. Maybe it does. James was going to say, in my perfect world, we would not have a speaker and the U.S. House would be deadlocked. I bet it would limit the damage the federal government does to the world. In theory, but no. Let me explain why, what happens. Theoretically, that's true. But in practice, it isn't. In practice, what happens? The president just does it all himself. When the House is deadlocked, we encourage a monarch as a president. And the House is happy about that because they're not responsible anymore. Now the president is responsible for everything. So when things go wrong, they blame the president. Why do you think there's so many executive orders? Well, because the Congress won't do anything anymore. The Congress is almost nothing now. Except it's bad. Just like spend more money. That's all they do. Otherwise, they don't do anything. So the president does. And the president just makes executive orders, and then the Congress gets mad. And generally speaking, the Supreme Court goes, oh, what is that? Yeah, whatever. That's what our Supreme Court usually does. So in theory, you're correct. In practice, it just makes it more of a monarchy for us. The king, our president becomes more of a king because then something has to get done. So he just writes orders. President, that's DACA. They won't fix immigration. So DACA just wrote it, right? That's how they do it. Phil says, when you talk with Howie Hawkins, it was interesting how he said the Green Party caused more turnout for both Greens and Democrats. I think it's healthy to have debate and dissent, like judges and short guys. If you don't allow dissent, if you're not confident. Ooh, you don't allow dissent if you're not confident. You short guys. I don't know what short is. Whatever. Take that. So, yeah. I agree, right? I happen to like Howie. Other people don't like Howie. I do. He's another Marine, just like I am. If you remember last year, I think, it was not last year, now 2 years ago, 2023, pretty sure. It was me, Mike Voss, Kit Cabello, and Howie Hawkins on 9/11. We did 4 Marines. So yeah, it was all good, 100%. Vivek says, in my perfect world, we would permanently have a libertarian president. Me too. And Congress would be controlled by Republicans. Well, now you went too far. But the first part's good. I think it'll be interesting dynamic and maybe progress could happen. Let's just keep the first one. So yes. Gabrielle says, oh, shut up, Marxist Dem. Who's the Marxist Dem? Is that me? Is that for me? Am I a Marxist Dem? Never been called a Marxist Dem before. Thanks, Gabrielle. If it's for me, I don't know who it's for. So see that you guys thought I wasn't left enough. I'm a Marxist Dem right there. Unless it's not for me. You can tell me if it is. Luke Libertarian says, in the perfect world, humans hold themselves accountable. Yes. To humanity, not greed and retain humanity. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Vivek says, MAGA is divided into two, the more libertarian side versus the more protectionist side. You got to stop using that libertarian world with Republicans. You got to stop that. Vivek, you got to stop that. Phil says, even Governor Perry is for, I don't know what that is. So many conservatives are seeing now cannabis and psychedelics help soldiers with TBI and PTSD. I guess that's a form of one of those. I don't know the world, Phil. So I apologize. So yes, there we go. There we go. So Pete says, how soon does the speaker Mike Johnson betray the American taxpayers? Immediately, I would assume. I would assume like immediately. That would be my assumption. Has he? Probably already, is my guess. He did have a nice speech, though. And so did Hakeem Jeffries. They had nice speeches. They were both nice. So maybe they were nice. And then why liberty, God judges also. Second Amendment doesn't exist here. Yes, judges also. Yeah, God judges. Yes. Also, Second Amendment doesn't live here. Correct. Correct. Yes. Andrew says, Larry for speaker. I would take that job in a heartbeat. I would take that job in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Lunacy goes on to say the debt will be 50 trillion by the end of 2025. You think 50? No, too high. No, 45 maybe. Maybe. 50 too high. Not for 20. No way. Come on. No way. I mean, they're bad. I know. And I'm wrong. As the economy crashes. By the way, for those of you who don't know, the Chinese have adopted our model. You might say, Larry, is that a good thing? No, I mean, our model of debt. They've decided that because their economy is not doing well, they're just going to write checks. I'm not joking. They're just going to write checks. Like, you know what? Our economy is not good. Let's just write checks to our people. What could go wrong? As always, I'm not joking. So they're going to start writing checks to their people because their people aren't happy and the economy's not good and they're not getting married. Kind of like us. And they're not buying houses. Kind of like us. And what happened when we weren't? Stimmy checks. What did Chinese do? Stimmy checks. So now the Chinese are getting stimmy checks. That's going to be coming this year. So they're going to be trying to chase our debt. Lunatic, the Chinese might have a bigger debt than us one day. We'll see. They are on their way. They are on their way. I know it's sad. There we go. All right. Kim says, I received no notices and have been looking, just found that you were on. Again, this one was probably my fault. I put this up very late. I was running crazy behind. I was hardworking, a lot of stuff today, and it was very challenging for me. So there we go. Yes. All righty. All right. The AC says, the alleged president, or as every goddamn Republican, including my dad, said for 8 years, for 8 goddamn years, not my president during Obama. I know. I don't get mad at that because I never get the president I want. I still want President Gary Johnson. So I'm nowhere near getting what I want. So I'm mad at all. Not my president, but I'm mad at all of them. I get nothing even close to what I want. I'm nowhere near getting what I want. So anyway, the AC goes on to say, cure to cancer is easy. Don't eat sugar. There we go. Pete, AC, that's why Biden didn't cure it, because AC already cured it. He was gonna. Pete, he was getting ready to cure cancer. But then AC stepped up and said, I got you. So there's no cure because AC messed it up for everybody. You messed it up for everybody, AC. That's your fault. We would have had a cure for cancer, but he already had it. There we go. So Steve says, F the felon SA. You know what that means. I'm going to say because I am on YouTube and I'm going to get canceled. SA, you know that SEX. President of the knuckle-dragging, inbred, and educated supporters. Well, there's about, 80 million of them or so? Is my math about right? It's a lot, dude. So, Steve, I guess you could be mad at him if you want to. The concern is if you don't talk to them, whoever you don't like, in this case, the inbred, uneducated supporters, they're going to keep supporting, right? You're not going to get what you want, right? The idea of being angry at them, I understand your anger. I get angry when I don't get what I want to. But the point is here, though, how bad was the system, or how bad did they feel that they thought this was the right answer, right? He is a felon, it's accurate, and they voted for him in droves, right? In fact, most of the people who voted, he won the popular vote. So most of the people who voted for him, and he won the electoral vote. So he's doing something right, in which case your team, whatever team you're on, I'm assuming you're a Democrat, but you may not be. I'm a libertarian, so I don't know what you are, but assuming you're a Democrat, your team either isn't doing something right, or should do something that he's doing in some way, shape, or form, right? And I don't mean to be flippant when I say this. Again, I never win elections, but I don't blame, right? I don't blame. I blame judges, but I don't blame the people, right? I go, you didn't vote for me. Well, all right, what am I doing? I got to get better. I got to fix it. I got to do something, right? I got to keep trying. So I get your anger. This isn't going to help, right? If you insult people, even if you think it's true, I mean, I don't know if you're just being insulted or you actually believe it. I don't know whether that was I don't know if that comment is to be angry or if it's real, whatever you feel. It's not going to make them change because you yell at them. It's just not. Lunatic, thank you for the $2. I'm out of the government. Spending money not in account. Don't do that. If you don't have any money, don't do that. Thank you for the $2. But if you got no money, just click the like button and share. Lunatic, no more. If you don't got the money, don't do this, right? Look, guys, I want you all to give me lots of money. Please do that, but only if you have it. Don't give me lots of money if you don't have it. If you have lots of money, give me lots of money if you have it. There is the comment. I guess I should say that more often. I should be clear. Yes, I would love you all to give me lots of money if you have the money to give. If you don't have the money to give, you can click the like button. Don't break your phone, but click the like button. That's free. Do that. Please do that. Like now, do that, right? That's free. Or share it or repost it. Also free. Every subscription matters. Please do that. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on X and Rumble. That's all free. Please do that. Don't forget to click on notification when you do so. Please do that. Now, if you got cash, please super chat me. I would like all of your money that you have. Or rant me on Rumble. I would like all of your money that you have. Please become a member on YouTube. Give me $5 a month. If you can swing it, please do that. And I got to make sure I say this now. Lunatic, stop. Right? If you can swing it, I hope you can swing it. Some of you can swing it easily. Then don't be cheap. Swing it. Some of you can't swing it. I got it. Click the like button. Or, of course, subscribe on Rumble if you prefer Rumble. Only doing it live. Click subscribe. All right? So if you can't swing it, don't. If you can, give me the money. Done. I have to add that piece. If you can swing it. And who decides that? You do. If you think you can swing it, please do so. If you can't, no worries. Don't put the click button is free. It's fine. It's fine. Do that instead. All good. All right. Straight End says, calling people names always changes their opinion, but not towards your opinion. Ooh, nicely done, Straight End. That is off of Rumble, by the way. Thank you. It's very true. Very true. Absolutely true. Yes. All right. Any case, let me keep going here if I can. Patriot, Grim Christo Grim. All liberals are pompous, entitled PDFs. I don't want to say the word because I'm on YouTube. PDFs who don't care about American values. I think he's trying to out insult the other guy. That's a pretty bad insult too. I don't think either of you is going to like be hanging out with each other, but yeah, that's a pretty one too. Yeah. Also not helpful, but thank you for your comment. AC says they crushed Bernie, but made it so they couldn't win in my humble opinion. Yes and no, right? Yes, they crushed him and they couldn't win, but what do they count as a win? And what I would say is their win isn't necessarily winning the election. Their win is continue grift. And remember something, as bad as the Democrats did last year, and they did terrible last year, as bad as they did, none of the leadership changed. Hakeem Jeffries still running everything, and no leadership change. DNC chair still, everyone's the same. They did terrible last year. Horrible. And who will change? Nothing. They're still grifting. They're still doing great. So if you're a Democrat and you vote Democratic, Democratic voters don't get to win. That's true. But they're still winning. Hakeem Jeffries ain't losing. Nancy Pelosi ain't losing. They doing great. They're still winning. They absolutely still winning. 100% still winning. So yes, I get what you're saying, but yeah, they're still winning. All righty. The AC says, actually, the Republicans winning both chambers might have been a blessing in that Trump doesn't have to lock Dems up to have majorities, but who knows? I guess we'll see. Yeah. Kim says, the game's going to stop. Both sides need to start acting like responsible, respectable adults. They're not that. Why would they start acting that way? And then what's the reason to act that way? Yeah. Yeah. The AC goes, no one can stop from doing shit. Correct. Yes. That's what I'm saying. If I'm that judge, I might shut my mouth. I might be quiet from that judge. I might find myself behind bars. So James says, Doge will become the next IRS. I bet money on it. Oh my God, I hope you're wrong. James, no, stop. James, no. I'm going to say you're wrong because I hate that so much. I'm just going to tell you that you're wrong. Just because. I don't like that. I can't hear you. La, 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 la. That's it. No, absolutely. Yes, I'm going to ignore that. So Lunatic says, Mike Johnson is AIPAC controlled. I think most of them are, except for like Thomas Massey. I don't think that's at all odd to think of. I think most of them are. So yes. Andrea says, the bad thing is executive orders just get overturned by the next president. We need both the Senate and the House to pass meaningful change. Correct. Yes. Pickerbo says, lol, Marxist. I know I'm the Marxist. I don't mind. Look, I come on at night. People are going to insult me. I get it. It's how it works. Absolutely. Patriot Grimm says, why does someone else drown out someone else's comment on live chat with their own? Why does someone else drown out someone else's comment on a live chat with their own? You mean like with a super chat? I'm not sure what you mean. Or like to go back and forth. We go back and forth here all the time, Patriot. I don't know if you watch often or not. I don't know how often you watch, but we go back and forth all the time. So and super chats are a great way of going to the top. So yes. Lunatic, why are you being belligerent with your own money? Don't do this. F him, allow me to show non-compliance. Duke of Heck says, not rich, but your libertarian info is important. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's good. Absolutely. Thank you. Yes. Straight Dan says, Rand Paul ate back control. Oh, I was talking about the House. Straight Dan. Rand Paul's in the Senate. We were talking about the House. So I don't know about the Senate. I'm not sure. I'm in the Senate. I don't know how controlled the Senate is. The Senate does have a little bit more leeway, if that makes sense. A little bit more leeway because they have 6 years. So once they get elected, they don't have to rush to raise money every 5 seconds. So they have a little more leeway than the congressmen do. Congressmen are raising money constantly all day, no matter what. So a little bit different. So yes, there we go. Grace says, Statista says, projects the national debt will be 45 trillion by 2030. That's more likely. I think 50 is too high. I don't think 50. If we're at 50, we're like really done. Pete's like 50 trillion. He's going to cry. Yes. He's going to cry. Yes. 100%. Yes. It is insane. It is absolutely crazy. Yes. So anyway, let me keep going here. Vivek says, yeah, in 2016, 2020, and 2024, the person I wanted most didn't get it. For those curious, 2016, I wanted John Kasich. I liked Kasich. He's like a nice guy. He did something nice guy, but he did some crappy stuff to libertarians. 2020, I liked Andrew Yang. I like Andrew Yang. He's a friend of mine. He lives here in New York. I had lunch with him about 2 months ago. Like him. And 2024, Vivek fan. Vivek isn't ready. I don't mean to be mean. He's just not. He doesn't. I say this to be very forward. And I knew this off the bat. I was saying he wasn't ready. There is simply a different way for you to speak and react when you're in the public eye like this. The advantage Trump had over everybody else in 2016 is he had been on TV for decades. I mean, that was just, he knew how to act in the public eye. It didn't bother him. He knew exactly how to do it. That was an advantage he had over everybody else. He had that advantage. So yes. Gray says, not all Trump supporters are uneducated. He's quite popular with the corporate attorney crowd. That's true. See a lot of physicians who support him too. Guess they're all just greedy capitalists. I'm sure some greedy capitalists are that way. I'm sure some are, but I don't think all the supporters are that way. I don't agree with the guy's insult. I just understand his anger. I understand it, but you never heard me say something like that. I don't think that at all. So Cheyenne says, it's not exactly always supporters. It's he was better than the other side. I think that's a bigger piece. Yes. Right. And not even that, and for many people, not even that he was better. The other side was so bad to so many. And the other piece, which millions are, and you know this, Cheyenne, millions of people literally came aboard because of either Tulsi or RFK Jr. or Elon. Like they like those personality types and they brought them over. I think that. Cheyenne goes to say, and I can drag my knuckles if I want. You can. Absolutely, you can. Yep, absolutely. To go fast, thank you for the $5. Why do you think libertarianism isn't as popular as it could be? Seems common sense, fiscal responsibility, and non-aggression would be a huge win. I'll give you 2 reasons why. In fact, let me give you 3 because they're related. There's 3 reasons why. Reason number 1, we don't have a very good front person, right? We don't have a very good front person for libertarianism who's popular. It's very hard. Our biggest one ever was Ron Paul. That was our biggest one ever, was Ron Paul. We haven't had anyone who could match him. We just haven't. We got close, kinda, with Harry Brown. And because of popularity, we got a little bit closer with Gary Johnson, not because he was a good libertarian speaker, not because of that, because he was just physically more popular from being a governor. So I think we had a little bit of that, but that's really it. So that's number 1. We don't have a positive front man. Number 2, most of the time, most people who are committing libertarianism come across as being very selfish, and not realistic. They speak about things like, well, just end it and blah, blah, blah. And that goes to the 3rd piece, which is too many libertarians who are front people for us are only worried about virtue signaling. You hear them say all the time, my job here as libertarians is tell the truth. Who gives a shit? That doesn't mean anything. I tell the truth too. So what? A lot of people do, right? Who cares, right? The question, do you have actual answers? Or they just talk about rhetoric. We should just end it all. Government bad. I say government bad too, all the time. And I say people still are in trouble. People need help. I say all the things. So I think those are the 3 reasons. I think it's common sense. It's why I'm libertarian. I'm sorry. That's why I'm a Marxist Dem. I'm sorry. So I'm a Marxist Dem, right? It's why. Of course, yes. It's common sense, like you said, non-aggression and put everyone in gulags. Makes sense. Anyway, I'm kidding, obviously, but no, I think that's one of the reasons, the three reasons why. When we get someone up front who doesn't sound selfish, and the problem is, fiscal responsibility and incomes can sound selfish if you say it the wrong way. You've got to be able to say it in a way that doesn't sound selfish, and that's hard. Particularly when people are trying to pretend like it's all about the facts and the facts and the facts. It's about feelings too. I think that's the issue. I hope that was clear. So yes. All righty. Let's see here. Alexa says, "Can you say map?" Sadly, it's a thing. Minor. Yeah, I know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I want to say that. I don't. But yes, I get it. Map. Yes, that's the new word. Maybe I should use that. Maybe it's better. Maybe. Gray says, Larry Sharpe is a rarity, an ethical New York gubernatorial candidate. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Abe says, lol, the left voted for dementia-ridden basement dweller, criminal to boot. Man. Okay, now we're fighting here. Okay. Now we're fighting. Look, all I'm saying is, I'm happy you guys are talking. Abe Albert says, give you money. I have the money. I'd burn it before get it. Don't burn your money, Abe. Why would you do that? Okay, you don't have to give me the money. Don't burn it. Spend it on something good. And you know what I'd like you to do, Abe? Do as you see fit. Your money. I'm libertarian. Do as you see fit with your money. But I'm going to give you my opinion because you're watching. So I'm going to give you my opinion. This is the AMA. I think you should use it to help someone locally. Not give it to a big, national, nonprofit. I think you should find a local nonprofit that is not funded by the government, that relies upon donors. And I think you give some money to a local nonprofit, like maybe like a shelter or maybe like a food bank. Please do that. Don't burn it. You don't have to give it to me if you don't want to. I will happily take it, my friend, but you don't have to. My opinion, as always, you're under no obligation to follow my opinion, but my opinion is give it to someone local. Local charities and local community is always going to be more effective in helping people out. So yes, here we go. Monkey See Monkey Do says, I've never understood the reflex of so-called educated people to look down their noses at the less educated people, especially when they claim they want to win. It's not smart at all. I think there is the idea, and it's been here forever. It's not a new thing. More educated people often feel like they're better than people who aren't educated. I think it's common. I do think that's true. People do think that. I agree with you, though. It doesn't necessarily make sense, particularly in today's world. Particularly if you're younger. Older people, when I use older, I'm old. I'm over 50. So if you're over 50 and you're educated, and here's how I define educated the same way the pollsters do. You have at least a 4-year degree. If you have that, the odds are you make more money than someone who doesn't. But if you're under 30, you probably don't. There's a lot of people right now who are under 30 who do not have a college degree, but have graduated high school. Graduating high school is still critical, right? If you don't graduate high school, the odds of you doing well are minuscule. If you graduate high school, but go into trades, you can make a lot more money than someone who gets a 4-year degree, gets $50,000 to $100,000 in debt, and now is a barista at Starbucks. You can as a youngster. Older people, that wasn't true because the world has changed. Yeah. William says, Larry, you're in a Quonset hut. I am. You noticed my Quonset hut. Thank you. I call it the bunker. But yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. All right. The AC says, surely not all of them are PDF files, but libs are generally whatever he said. That's actually funny. Maps is what we're going to call them. There we go. Maps. There we go. James says, should the country go back to using gold standard? Should we use a different standard instead of for valuing money? Should we allow People's National Bank as replacement to the Federal Reserve? Okay, I am not a fan of a national bank at all. I don't mind community banking at either a state or at a county level to kind of fix things, but I prefer just having regular banking be nice. We cannot go back to gold. I know people say that, but you just can't. You just can't go back to gold. There's no way you can go back to gold anymore. Those days are long gone. But you can do a combination of precious metals and, believe it or not, cryptocurrency. You can. And the cryptocurrency, though, has to be a decentralized currency, which means the only one right now that you can do it is Bitcoin. And that's what RFK Jr. was talking about. Having a combination of both, not creating a CBDC, and instead having it together to back your money. It could be done. There's another idea you could also back with infrastructure. In theory, you could build buildings and the value of the building could be linked to the money also. You could do that in theory also. So you could build things and then do it that way. So I think you could. I don't think gold's realistic anymore. I don't even know if America even has the gold anymore. I'm not even joking. I'm not even sure we have it. Andrea says, we all just need to start trading like Pelosi and we'd all have the money to life. See that? If you would all just do some Pelosi trading, then you'd be able to give me tons of cash. There we go. Michael says, Doge is an elaborate Musk troll for his Dogecoin holdings, and it's worked so far. I got a buddy of mine who bought a bunch of Doge years ago. He's happy as can be. I wish I'd done that. Yeah, absolutely. Phil says, Democrats might be doing my suggestion for Ukraine. By giving up Eastern Ukraine, they'll lose all the people who would vote for Russia against Ukraine. Democrats make it easy to control the party by not having troublesome people in their primaries. It's a valid point. If you throw them out of your party, then you don't get primaried. It's a valid point. And that's all they care about is winning their seat. That's actually smart. Yeah, look at that. Just smarter than I thought. Look at that. I love that. That's great. All righty. Let's see here. Gary says, what can be done for child support catastrophe? It's a system that is so unconstitutional, yet tolerated by courts and the people at large. I discussed this yesterday, Gary. I gave a detailed system on how we should fix the family court system. And the number one piece is we should be focusing on children with kin. And the person who can be a better parent has to be focused on getting the children, not whether or not they have enough money or not. And having more money is often an answer, but not always, but often an answer. You make more money, often you can take care of a child better. Not always the case, but that should be considered, not just the mom, right? But on top of that, the state should get no cut. That is the part. The state gets a cut. The state can get no cut. You have created incentive for the state to punish you. So you want to get rid of that incentive. You do that, you can change things. Straight in, thank you for the $2 over on Rumble. Some uneducated feel that they are being looked down on when they aren't. I'll look you in the eye, no matter how tall you are or how tall you think you are. I think it's true also. It's a valid point. Not only do people who are more educated often think they're better, a lot of people who aren't educated also think they're not as good. It's a good point. Our culture has for so long said that education is what matters. Education is the critical aspect. Education is the way to, the way to success and power. But I think in partially we've decided ourselves too. It's a valid point. It's a cultural issue more than just an individual guy or gal being a jerk. I mean, sometimes these guys or gals are jerks, but I don't think that that's literally the only reason. So yes, Gary, I'm sorry. Pickerbell says, Monkey, it's because liberals are elitist nerds hiding the smell of their own fart. Man, we're doing some insults today, aren't we? We're insulting today. All right. I got called a Marxist Dem. We all over the place. Okay. There we go. We just keep going. Phil says, help local rescue mission. City government hates competing. Yes, there we go. A local rescue. I love that idea. Put your money there. It's a good place to put it. I like that. I love that. It's good. All right. Grace says, Larry, how was the keto cake your daughter made? Well, not so good. It didn't work out as planned. We didn't have enough of the ingredients. It didn't work out as planned. It was a failure. So I love her. She did the best she could. We'll do another one. Did not go as well as I would have liked it. So yes, didn't really like it. So it wasn't great. So he says, arrest Bragg and James for inappropriate prosecution. It was one single outside the statute of limitations misdemeanor. It was a misdemeanor. I think you're right. Right? Did he make an error? He did. 100%. There's no question. He made an error. Was it worthy of 34 felonies? No, not even close. You're right. I agree with you. But again, they can't arrest these people. I'm not saying you're wrong, but they're never gonna. I mean, okay. Unless we go back to what was said earlier with it, which is this lawfare is going to keep going. If that happens, then yes. If this keeps going, presidents are just going to start arresting people. They can do whatever they want. Our Supreme Court has just said, do you? It's all good. So All Trump has to say is, well, Bragg and James are stopping me from being president, so Gitmo. Bye. And not even prosecute, just Gitmo. See you never. Bye. That's how that works. So, yes, there we go. Andrea says, I have an education from the University of Hard Knocks. I would say my first failed business was my MBA. So I would say. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. So Shelly says, self-education is vital. We learn a lot from you that we'd never learn in college. Oh, thank you, Shelly. I appreciate that. AC says, I thought he said Kwanzaa hut. Yes, it could be that. You could celebrate Kwanzaa if you want to. You could. I'm not against. Come celebrate Kwanzaa, AC. Come on in. Celebrate Kwanzaa. You can come here and do it. But it's called the Quonset hut. It is it is almost like a barracks, like the Marines have used in many places, particularly the West Coast. So yes. So yeah, but you can celebrate Kwanzaa. I don't mind. Enjoy. Whatever you like. There we go. Lunatic says, I will never call a PDA for map. Yeah. Grace says, Larry, what's up with Kathy Hochul wanting to change the involuntary commitment standards as a response to transit crime? Well, of course. I might do this tomorrow maybe, but she had a recent press conference again, which is always just horrible. But yes, she said, this is her words, that this year she had to go through 800 bills. She said 800. Why in the world would New York State need 800 bills? Oh my God. Oh my God. But yes. So just more laws. That's why. Let's not fix the problem. Let's punish people. Yeah. Shelley says, if you're broke, go for less precious metals like copper and aluminum. You could. Ryan says, Larry, what you said about gold makes some sense, but I'm more a proponent of gold and silver of cryptocurrency. Well, that was my point, right? I think you have to use, that's why I said precious metals. I think Shelley's correct too. We can use less precious metals. But I don't think America, how is America going to find 37, what Pete told me, $37 trillion worth of gold? We don't have that. We don't have enough gold to back all the money we made. So we don't have, assuming we even have any gold left, we haven't already given away, people haven't taken it already. Who knows? Who don't see our gold? Who knows if we even have it? It could be a total lie. I have no idea if we even have any gold. So, but if we have gold, do we have enough? All the money we just made out in there, we can't back it with that. We don't have enough. We're going to have to steal all the gold. We have to bomb all the countries, take all their gold, and then maybe we'd have enough to back our dollar. Maybe. So that was my point, Ryan. We have to use some kind of precious metals. It could be silver, whatever is the appropriate. I'm not an expert in precious metals, but whatever that. And I think you could also add on top of that any accepted cryptocurrency. And some people go, well, I don't like cryptocurrency. It's all bogus. All our dollar right now is completely bogus. Our dollar now is backed upon one thing. Marines will come kill you. That's it. Marines will come kill you. Or will bomb you. That's it. Or Navy SEALs will come kill you. That's it, right? Have you seen what's happening with the Chinese now in Africa? The Chinese right now in Africa, they're revolting. The Africans are revolting against a lot of Chinese. They're like burning their buildings, storing them out. Because as I told you, I mentioned this months ago. If you remember, I mentioned this months ago. I told you the Chinese were going to have a problem. I never told you a moment. I told you some moment. I told you the Chinese were going to have a problem because they're not as aggressive as we are. And I mean this physically with like bombing and such. They made all these deals with all these warlords, with all these corrupt governments, and thought, well, we're good because we had a deal. If you don't pay us, we'll take over this property. And people are like, oh my God, they're going to lose all the property. I'm like, no, they're not. I told you this. No, they're not. The African governments were going to go like, yeah, no, we're not giving you it. But the contract says, we don't care. No, you can't have it. But we made a deal. If you don't pay, we take it. We're aware of that. And no, get out or we'll just kill you. That's what the African governments will do. And they're doing it now. They're literally killing Chinese. They're burning down their buildings. They're ransacking stuff now. Now it's in Mozambique is the biggest place now. They're doing it right now, right? Doing it right now already. Happening already. And the problem is they wouldn't do it to Americans. Why not? Because we'll bomb them. Or our CIA will overthrow them. Or our Navy SEALs will come and kill them. They know that. They don't do it to us because we will literally just destroy them. Now, I'm not proud of that fact. I'm just telling you that's the realities of life. That's how it works, right? They saw Gaddafi. They're like, we don't want that. But China's not going to do that. China can't do that, right? China can't do that. Now, they're scared of Russians because Russians might do that shit. They might. Russians, but I mean, Russia can't really right now. But Russia's not trying to take over. Russia's just trying to throw out the French because they met the French. But Russia just wants cash, and Russia would like also another place to sell their stuff to. So that's what Russia's looking for. China was looking to take over some facilities and build their Belt and Road Initiative. And Africa's like, that's awesome. Thanks for the money. Get out now. I said it months ago. If you were watching me, I said it months ago. And now it's happening. If you're going to play in that world, that's how that works. America taught them how to do it. So, yes, it's just terrible. So, any case, yes. Ryan says, Larry, you Marxist, you. Yeah. Marxist dem. Marxist dem. There we go. Let's get it right. So, yes. Pickup says, I nearly set my house on fire doing a cooking fail. Solidarity. Does happen. Does happen. So he says, I have 4 foster brothers whose mother wanted to give to me, and I was more than willing to take them. But she refused to send over custody because she would get less welfare. Wow. Wow. Yeah, there we go. Nate says, why wouldn't a gold standard work? I buy gold and silver all the time. $2,600 an ounce. It's the best way to insulate myself from inflation. And I don't know if you heard it when I explained why. We just don't physically have enough of it to match all the money we've made. Nate, we've just made up trillions of dollars. We don't have enough to back it. You'd have to add other things. So silver, yes. If there's, I don't know how much silver there is and how much we have, I don't know. But assuming we could do that, that'd be great. Add it all up, maybe. Yes. Andrew says, my idea of a keto cake is a ribeye. I am with you. AC says, my son made a keto cheesecake for my 50th birthday. It was delicious. I had a friend of mine make a keto cheesecake for me years ago. It was very good. Yes, it can be done. And don't be wrong. The reason why the cake was tough, to be forward, my daughter has made pies and cakes before, and they were delicious, and she's made them, keto. Delicious. She's keto, so am I. All great. This was very special. For those of you who don't know, there's a special type of Greek cake that we eat on New Year's Day. She tried to make that specific type of cake, and that Greek cake requires specific ingredients for that kind of cake. That was why it was challenging. In fact, we had to actually go to a Greek store to get and they didn't have everything. We had to swap some stuff out here or there. It was very specific. So yes, that's the reason why. So we'll figure out the answer next time. It's all good. Yes, absolutely. All right. Let's see here. Phil says, my dad's an attorney. The city of Albany has been going after them hard. The city blames the rescue mission for the homeless, not the government policies. Of course. Of course. There we go. Yes. So, Roz, I answered the flavor of the cake. It's a special kind of, it's called, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. It's the New Year's cake that the Greeks have. Hold on. Vasilitopia. Oh, that's wrong. Jeez, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I'm not Greek. My daughter's half Greek. So hold on. So I do follow the Greek stuff for that. Hold on. It is okay. It's called Vasilopita. Vasilopita is what it's called. She had to make that. That's what it's called. I probably pronounced it wrong, but if you're Greek, you'll get it, right? Again, I'm not Greek. I don't pronounce Greek well at all. That's what it is. And that was what she had to make, and it's very specific, and that's why it didn't work. So yes, here we go. The AC says, I'm aware of a Quonset hut. We had one for our football team in high school. There we go. There we go. Mr. Matt's Arcade. Hey, Larry, this is off topic. It's okay, AMA. But I just wanted to say Happy New Year. Finding your show was one of the few good things that happened in 2024. Thank you. Aww. Love that. Thank you so much. Mike Glass, how are you, sir? The problem is youth have been trained to believe that authority only exists with titles, like intelligence. It's unrealistic, but the media message for decades to discredit opposing messages, obey. Agreed. 100%. Yes. 100%. This is a piece that we've done. Our culture has done this for decades. You're totally right, Mike. You don't have a degree, you're not important. You don't have a title, you're not important. You don't have a credential, you're not important. You don't have this, you're not valid. Right? You got to have the paper that I decide is valid. Or I can't listen to you, Mike. You don't have the paper. You're clearly not valid. Oh, you have the paper? Now, Mike, overnight, you're a god now. You were nobody tomorrow, but now you got, yesterday, but now you got a piece of paper. Now you're a god. I wish you were wrong, but brother, you are 100% correct. And luckily, I think that's changing. I think these last couple of years have shown that America is shifting away from that. We are shifting away from that. But yeah, I think it's still true though. But we are shifting away. So Mr. Matsuke goes on to say, your show is both entertaining and informative. Oh, thank you. And AC agrees. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I do my best to keep going. I'm trying to keep this rocking and rolling to the best of our ability. I feel like we have a very special group here of people who are going back and forth, are learning things back and forth, talking to each other. Yes, I think so. Yes. All right. Sal says, not to mention how much gold is in consumer electronics. Oh, there we go. AC's like, we have to grab an asteroid or something. Now, if we do something like that, it could work. Now, the problem, of course, you get more gold. You might lower the price of gold. That's fine. I agree. But again, we'd have to be the only ones to get it. Maybe we got to convince Elon Musk to not go to Mars, but to get us a gold asteroid. See, AC, I solved our problems already. Already solved. AC cured cancer. Well done, AC. And I have now solved our money problem. We're going to go get Elon Musk to not go to Mars, but instead go get us a gold asteroid, and we're good. And then Nate, you're good, brother. He'll get the gold asteroid, and you'll be right. We'll do gold. Look, we solving problems here. Solving the problems. Love it. Ryan, thank you for the $5. City governments blaming rescue missions for their own policy failures makes as much sense as conservatives continue whining about Bud Light. But it does, whining about Bud Light does get clicks. So there's something about that. I probably should have done Bud Light stuff. I didn't do any Bud Light stuff at all. I probably should have done it. I probably blew that one. Yeah. Monkey C says, yes, I was going to suggest lithium, also whatever, zinc. Yeah, well, look, whatever, right? IC says the gold vaults are empty. I think they are, IC. That's why we don't see it. Look, I think what RFK Jr. said was correct. Precious metals, whatever that is, right? I don't know the details, but something to back the money in some way. There just isn't enough. We don't have enough gold. Now, again, when we get Elon to go get us a gold asteroid, problem solved. But until that problem, we got to find something else. And I do think that without having something else, you could add some type of cryptocurrency to it. You could. Again, it's when people believe it. You have to believe it and trust in it, right? And clearly the most popular, most believable one is Bitcoin, without question. So you'd have to do something like that. So yes. So Kim says, do you get significant support from other people from the states? It makes sense to me as a Missourian to support you in New York so that blue infection doesn't spread any further. Yes, I do. About half of my money that I raised in both my elections, both my runs came from out of state. It's about 50%, about 50-50. About half the people were in New York State, but half were out. In fact, that was one of the attacks Republicans did against me. He's getting his money from out of state. See, they're trying to control whatever. That was one of their attacks on me. That is true, but I didn't care. I told people that. I said it because I'm so good. That was my response, but I don't care. But yes, about half. And when it comes to people who watch this show, most are actually out of New York State, except obviously for the radio show, which is heavily New York State based. But this show is, most people are not in New York State who watch this show. A lot are, but most are not. My radio show, clearly, mostly New York State, because it's a New York State show. So yes. Roz says, I wonder what's really in Fort Knox. I don't know. Jimmy Hoffa? Maybe. Could be that. Yes. Mike says, key point rarely mentioned is Doge has built-in dissolution date. Oh, I didn't know that. Plus no renewal option. This is why it can be more effective, but it won't instantly change the nation. Yeah, I think you're right. I know that Elon was talking about cutting $2 trillion. That would be amazing. I hope that's true, but I'm just being realistic. I think you and me, Mike, agree. He ain't getting $2 trillion. If he got $1 trillion, I'd be jumping out of my seat happy. I'd be satisfied with $500 billion. Just something. If they could just not have a deficit, just not have a deficit and start paying down debt. Like I don't need much. I need not going $7 trillion in debt this year. That's what I would like. Don't go $7 trillion in debt this year. Sorry, don't go $7 trillion more into debt. Don't do that. But yes, if I'd be happy with half a trillion, right? But I think you're right. I think it does have an opportunity to do something. Yes. Nate says, I'd like to see the national debt dissolved and all federal assets liquidated. Why can't end the Fed mean end the debt? It could. Here's the problem with that, Nate. It could. The issue is our entire society right now, America specifically, but the rest of the world, but particularly America, is built on debt. So if you just ended the Fed like that, the amount of horror and disruption that would happen in the economy would be astounding. We would sadly beg for a dictator and get one, because that's what happens. Every time that happens, people go, I'm scared. Somebody be my boss. Somebody be my daddy. And there's a daddy who can't wait to step up. And if there's more than one daddy, we all go to war. Lots of us die until the right daddy steps up. That's how that works every single time. So you're correct. The problem is we're so deep into debt, and it's so part of our culture now, if we just stopped it. This is why even Ron Paul doesn't actually say end the Fed. That's his story. He likes it. But he actually says audit the Fed. When you actually ask his policy, it isn't actually to end the Fed. He says it. He likes it. People love it. They say the thing. I love it too. I say end the Fed. But in reality, I want to audit the Fed first. And here's the reason why. Nate, still to this day, the vast majority of Americans do not understand that the Fed is our national bank. They don't know that. They say literally, no, we don't need a national bank. We got the Fed. People tell me that. They also think the Fed is part of the federal government. They still believe it. They also don't know the Fed just makes money, magically makes the money out of nowhere. They don't believe it. They don't know it. So just auditing the Fed. Here's the next part. Nate, we can't actually audit the Fed. I'm not joking. Why can't we audit it? It's a private company. You can't randomly audit a private company. You have to have a reason. You can't just audit a private company. That's against the law. I can't go, I don't like Nate. I'm auditing you. I've got to have a reason, or random or something. There's got to be some reason. You can't just audit it. It's not part of the government. You can't just audit it. So once you say that, people start going, wait a minute, we can't audit the Fed? Yeah, that'll actually be in the news. Because here's the worst part. Most reporters don't know. I'm not joking. I speak to them. I'm like, they go, that's not true. Yes. They go, oh my God, you're right, Larry. How'd you know this? Yes, they don't even know. So most people don't know. So I think that's why we first go there. That's just my view. So that's why. All right. Grace says, Larry, what do you do to make the subway safer? I've gone through this 1,000 times, Grace. You can actually do it 100%. You can do it. And one of the first thing you do is, there's two parts of this, obviously. One of them is when the people who are in trouble come to the subway, have a place for them. I talked about this before. The carrying caboose, have a place for them. Number one, have a place for them, right? After that, now you have to enforce the basics, which is just, and it's going to sound crazy, just enforce the basics. Make sure people are being taken care of. Make sure people are paying the fees and paying the fine. Now, and keep making new things. Just make the type of things where you can't jump over the turnstile. Make it to where you can't jump over the turnstile. That's it. Not giving cops to smack you over the head when you jump on the turnstile. Make it to where you can't get over the turnstile. Just make everything. We keep changing in New York City. We keep changing. Like, now it's the Omni card or the blah blah card. Now you can just tap your phone. Stop that garbage. Just make it to where you can't jump over the turnstile. Done. And give the homeless people a place to go. Those two things, you'll watch it be safer. Just those two. If you nothing else, just those two. Absolutely. Mike says, crypto has zero underlying asset or value beyond feelings. No matter how much can be made short term, it's worthless long term. But yes, gold alone is not enough to cover U.S. unfunded liabilities. Yes. So two parts to that. Number one, our current dollar, you could take away crypto and literally put the U.S. dollar there. You could just, what you said crypto has, I'm going to put the U.S. dollar has zero underlying asset or value beyond feelings. No matter how much can be made short term, it's worthless long term. The US dollar, it's the same. The difference is you don't take our dollar we will bomb and or kill you. There's a difference, right? But it's exactly the same. The fiat currency is fiat currency. But the feelings are people believe the US dollar is valuable and will bomb you. Those two things. So if we make crypto, do the same thing. Feel good and will bomb you. This is what I think is going to wind up happening, by the way. To your point, Mike, I think we are eventually going to do a CBDC. I think it's a terrible idea. I hate it and want to fight it, and I think it's going to happen anyway. We're going to do we're going to do a central bank digital currency. I think they're going to do that, and they're just going to say its value is this. Why? Because we say so. But to Mike's point, it has zero underlying asset and has no value beyond feelings. Yes, but will bomb or kill you. Oh, okay, it has that value. I think that's actually our future, as horrible as that is. And again, I'm not happy about it. I think that's going to happen. Yes. Yes. Wilson goes, Gaddafi was killed. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Ryan goes, Marxist then. My bad. You get it right. Get it right. Okay, Ryan? Stop messing around. Get it right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Phil says, Larry's a Marxist, but only like Groucho. That's cute. I like that. Alexa says, by the way, Larry, I finally finished my first podcast episode. I'll be uploading it here soon when I'm done with the horses. Oh, let us know. How are we going to find it? If you don't let us know, Alexa, let us know. And what's it on? Like, is it about horses or something else? What's it about? Let us know. Let us know. Absolutely. So, Michael says 1 billion troy ounces of silver produced this year. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. There we go. There we go. Gray says $453.5 billion worth of gold in 2023 per Statista. Yes. Wow. We need about 75 times more, give or take. So we need 75 times more gold than we have right now. That's all. 75 times more gold. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. There we go. Mike says estimates on total global value of gold between 7 and 20 trillion. Let's assume it's 20 trillion for the sake of argument. Because I'm going to be kind. Total in the whole world. U.S. debt's almost 37. So even if we took all the gold, like we bombed everybody and took all their gold, we're still $17 trillion short in gold. This is my point, guys. Nate, you asked why we can't use gold. This is why. We don't have anywhere near amount of gold. We're going to have to get Elon. If you're listening, if you're watching, get your rockets. We got to get us a gold. We got to get us a gold asteroid. That's the only shot here. That's our shot. Gold asteroids. That's it. So yeah, we need that. Let's hope you help us out. So yes. The AC says it will cost trillions, but net quadrillions. That's fine. There we go. Mike says, asteroid mining instantly devalues all precious metals. We need to plan out long before we attempt to prevent a crash globally. No, Mike. We're going to keep all the money ourselves. So you don't get that. And then we have bombs. So we go get it, take all the gold for ourselves, don't give anybody else any of it, and then just back what we already have. It's already, you said it, it's worth zero. So now we put some gold behind it. Now it's actually worth something. So now we tell people, okay, now we have a gold standard. If you can actually turn your dollars in for gold. Imagine if that were true. For a second, imagine for a second. I know I'm pulling this asteroid thing out of my ass, but assume for a second it actually works. Just for your point, Mike. If we actually get the gold asteroid, if that was real, we get it, we bring it back. And now we actually mine all the gold off the asteroid, put it in the bank, in Fort Knox or wherever we're supposed to keep the gold, wherever the gold's supposed to be, whatever. Put it where the gold is, whatever, and let people know. Now, as of today, the US dollar is backed by gold, and you can turn your US dollar in for gold. I guarantee you that would not have a crash. The reverse. The dollar would be hands down the number one currency. It is now, but BRICS is gone overnight. The rubles are gone overnight. They're all gone. The euro's gone overnight. Like it's gone. If that were actually true. Now, again, I'm making this up. Obviously, we're going to get some damn asteroid. But you might go, but then be a lot of gold. Doesn't matter. Right now, the dollar has no value. it would actually have gold value. You could actually trade it in for gold. The feelings that you like, that we tease about, would actually have some value. Your feelings could get you gold. I'll guarantee you'll be amazed. We're talking trash. It's some magical thing we're talking anyway. It's like, who cares? How am I going to prove myself right? When I get an asteroid? Anyway. But I'm still right, damn it. Doesn't matter. I'm still right, even though I can't prove it in any way, shape, or form. I'm still right. Yes. Mike says, Michael Veloff says, nickel is chemically stable. You can't stack lithium. You store ore. There we go. There we go. Yes. I love it. Andrea says, I gave to Larry and I'm in Illinois. Thank you. Yes. Icy says, PA here. Christine says, Missouri. Yep, there we go. Ask for a roll call. Drop your state. Saul's Washington. Ryan is Missouri. Michael says, Fort Knox holds promissory notes. Yeah, probably. An empty box in Fort Knox. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Yes. So he says, Hoff was in a giant stadium. Yeah, probably true. Yes. Ryan, my son is in Missouri. There we go. That's good. Texas here. There we go. I'd be happy with the abolition of the Department of Ed. Me too, Christine. Yes. Yes, I love it. I agree. So, all right. Andrew says, undisclosed location. So the FBI can get you. FBI already got you, Andrew. Stop. They got you already. Yes. AC says, I do believe I'm currently in Nebraska, but both my houses are in Illinois. Here we go. We're all over the place. Here we go. We're all over the place. I knew we were. Yes. All righty. Grace says, audit the Fed would make me want to end the Fed, but you're right. That's my point, right? My point is, if the end game is end the Fed. The end game is end the Fed. The beginning to make that happen is audit the Fed. Americua says, East Washington. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. Straight in says, $2. What are your thoughts on the working at home problem with DC workers? I know many who are assets to their company working from home. I also know workers that aren't so good. Here's the issue with that. I don't have a problem with people working from home if they can do it. My issue is, the problem they have is, because they're unionized workers, you can't lower their salary. And my issue is, if you change what you do, you should be able to lower your salary. Why does that matter? Well, if I have to work and live and be in a major city, I pay a whole lot more for everything, for travel, for clothes, for the whole deal. Now I'm at home. I'm not paying for travel. I'm not paying for dry cleaning. I'm not paying for anything. My cost of living just went down. You're a government worker. Lower your salary. Then I'm okay with it. If you can work from home to do the job, I don't care if it works, as long as it works. But then why not lower your salary? Well, I'm not lowering my salary. Then get your happy ass in the office then. That's how I feel, right then. Get your ass in the office then. Either come to work or change salary. You got your salary based upon you getting on, putting clothes, getting in your car or bus or whatever you do, coming to work. And that was part of the deal. Well, you changed that deal. Well, then we changed your salary. And I want it. Then come take your happy ass to work. That's how I say it. And if they're good, they're good. They're not, they're not. But I'm okay with changing your salary if you've changed what you're doing. That's my issue. I hope that answers your question at least. So yes. All righty. Let's see if I can go down here. Hold on. Do we have? Oh, T-Bone, thank you for gifting. Yes, 5 Sharpe Way memberships. Guys, please got the membership. Appreciate it. T-Bone, thank you so much for the memberships. They matter tremendously. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. It is very good. All right. Jay says, originally the New York City subway was privately owned system. Yes, it was. And it was, yes, it was. And I'm not against going back to that, but we're not going to have that now. Right? We're not going to have that now. So yes, absolutely. We're not, that's not a thing that we're prepared to do right now. But yes, I get it. I see where you're going with it. Right? There we go. Serena goes on to say, I agree. No parking, no transit closed. Yes. 100%. Yep. Grace says, it is terrible how many Americans are married to the US dollar. The euro hype couldn't kill it. Yeah. Christine says, the underground economy will be people trading goods and services. Also true. Yep. AC says, don't we already have a central bank digital currency? I mean, the Fed funds all the banks by loaning them money by just putting digits on their accounts. Yes, in theory we do, which is why it's going to be so easy to swap over. The Chinese are already doing it. The Chinese have, I forgot which one is which. I think the yuan is their official currency, And the RMB, I think, is their CBDC, or reversed. I forgot which one is which. But I think that's it. Yes. Yeah. There you have it. It'll be very easy. And here's what America will do. They'll do it very easily. They'll say, hey, we're changing over to CBDC, and everyone who gets a check, and there's something like 60 million people in America get a check from the government every month, something like that. Someone ungodly, it's like 320 million of us, and like 60 million get a check. It's like 1 in 5 Americans gets a check from the government every month. They're gonna say, hey, if you agree to take CBDC, you'll get an extra 10% for the next 6 months, or something like that. They'll do some incentive, and we'll all say yes. What? Extra 10%? Yeah. They'll all say yes. So 1/5 of our economy will become CBDC overnight. Boom. That's how to do it. You just pop it right up. They'll do it. And once they do it, then the rest of the economy have to accept it, and you'll see it change. That's how they do CBDC. That's it. And they'll probably add, hey, if you want a government contract, you have to take your payment in CBDC. And all these government contracts, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, done. Economy. Remember, about 50% or so of U.S. manufacturing is somehow linked just to the military-industrial complex. Now add all the other things the government does. So, right, the biggest employer in the country is the government. So they just make paychecks in that. So they'll easily swap it over. CBDC will be swapped over in 60 days. 60 days, swapped over. And within a year, everyone will be using it. There's just no way around it, because we're all reliant upon the government. It's what I've been saying for years. We are so reliant upon the government, they will decide, and they will control the money. Done deal. Why wouldn't they do it? And it's the best way to reboot the dollar. The dollar's falling apart. Mike's point was correct. It's worth zero. And you can see it already with the BRICS and all that stuff. The BRICS is not ending the dollar tomorrow. De-dollarization is not tomorrow. De-dollarization is slowly happening. It will take many years before the dollar's gone. Many years. At least 10, if not 20. I mean, it'll be many years before the dollar's gone. But it is starting to happen. You are seeing a small shrink in international transactions in dollars. It's small. It's still like 80%, but it was like 85% or whatever it was. It's a small, it is starting to happen, right? It is starting to happen. As it begins to happen, you will see America go, whoa, we don't like this. And how do we know it's happening? China already is deciding to not buy our bonds, right? When that begins to happen, now he's starting to get in trouble, right? They're still buying it, but they're starting to do less and less. And as that begins to get too bad, we're going to go, you know what? CBDC, done. And then we just reboot the dollar. And what I was telling Mike, it's worth X. Well, you have nothing to back it. And, well, we don't want it. We'll bomb you. Oh, okay. Or worse, we won't protect you with our nukes. Oh, well, we'll take it. Okay, we'll take it now. Done. That's how it'll work. It'll be that simple. I know it sounds crazy. Looking over at Rumble, more people here from Central PA, North Florida. Look at that. People from all over the place. I love it. There we go. There we go. Shan says, Marxist Dem, not happy bombing people. I'm not happy bombing people. I'm a pretty bad Marxist Dem. I'm bad at that. Yes. Cage says, this past year, you became my prime source of news and rational analysis. Oh, thank you. Where are you primarily getting your news, and how trustworthy do you think they are? I am very random in my news. I know it's kind of crazy, because there are two things I have. I have one massive advantage, and that is I've been doing this in some shape or form for many years. I've been doing this specific show now for about 5 years. Most of the time, I get blown up with stuff. People send me stuff all the time. They'll text me. They will DM me all the time. Most of the time, my team watches what happens. I don't watch everything. The team watches a lot of my stuff, and they'll bug me. Hey, how about this? How about this? How about that? How about this? And I get the team bugging me about stuff often. So I don't have to do that much digging. The team will bug me about a certain topic. When the topic comes up, I often know something about it because I spend so much time. Most of my daytime in my job is I'm political consultant. So I'm talking to people all the time. This is why, when you say, this guy, I go, yeah, I had lunch with him. I talked to him. Oh, I know this guy. I know this guy. I know that guy. Because I had some interaction with them, either raising money, running for office, something like that. So I get to call those people and talk to them and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So I can call people who are kind of in the know. I also do my own research into YouTube or I'll do it also on Google. I'll just do research and I'll look for what I think makes sense. So this guy says this. Okay, I know that's bullshit. Ignore him. That makes sense. I'll then listen to that or read that. And I often do it on double speed, just listen real fast. Okay, that's the key. Got it. And then from that, I'll find a topic that's within the topic and then look at that. And then I look for where the money comes from. So that's how I do my analysis. I will grab anybody and I'll go left, right. I don't care. Left or right. I don't have a specific person I listen to. I'll listen to the Young Turks. I'll listen to Tucker Carlson. I'll listen to Fox News. I'll watch CNN. Does not matter to me. If I think they have the right concept or answer, I walk down that road. Most of it is through my own way of knowing how things work and then finding the person like I'll find brand new people who I've never heard of. But if I will put a specific search term into Google and or YouTube. Both those are two separate, databases. So I'll check both. I put the term in and see who pops up. Makes sense. Okay, that one. Okay, that makes sense. And luckily for me now, YouTube and Google knows me enough to where if I put stuff in, they know who to pop up for me. So that's how I get my news. And I don't think anyone's trustworthy except on specific things, right? So I'm not mad at people when they have a bias, as long as I know the bias. If that makes sense, right? If I know the bias, then okay, they're going to be good at this. They're going to know this because that's their bias they care about. So I will, and I also listen to certain people for the opposite side. So why do I know like RBN as an example? Revolutionary Blackout Network. They're going to have the furthest left feeling, and it's going to be rebellion. There's going to be the most rebellion, the most left, the most rebellion, right? Those are. So if I know, I go that route, right? Sabby Sabs is in that same world, right? So I'll go to her if I know, okay, I want to find what that's, okay, that's that side. Okay, got it. So now I understand what they're, and I know their bias. I'm not mad at them for it. Now I know. So I'll walk down those roads. So I hope that was clear for you. So any case, let's see here. Grace says, I would so watch an LP Equine podcast. Ooh, I like that. There we go. IC says the U.S. is going to debtor prison. We bombing people. That's how we're doing it. Yes. We're bombing people. Yes. So Phil says, blockchain token backed by government cheese. You can make it into mac and cheese, liquid gold. Look at that. Yes. Look at that. I love it. Perfect. Yep. All righty. Let's see here. Okay, I was getting it right. Apollyon? Am I saying that right? No, his 2020 term was stolen. Oh, I don't think this is for me. I don't think this is for me. But I'll go. I told you not to even have this election. Wasted money. Period. I didn't stutter a lie. F his campaign this year. I won that. S for him. I don't want power. I don't know who this is. I don't know what you're asking me. I'm not sure. I don't think it's for me. I'm sorry. I read it because I saw it. So, but I don't know who that was for. If you want to be clear, it's fine. Michael says, Larry reaching. Is that good? Maybe it is. There we go. Steve says, I'm investing in Pokemon cards. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Yes. Yes. Jay says, you can't take your helmet off in space to bite the gold to see if it's real. How disappointing if it turned out to be fool's gold. Yeah, but you can bring it in. Bring it into the spaceship and then bite it. Then you'll know. So yeah, it's fine. You should do that. Yeah. 100%. You can still figure it out. Right? There we go. All right. Michael says dollar gold is $2,600 per ounce. It can be 10 times that. Bitcoin is 100K. Only 21 million total supply. Maybe gold can scale in price. Maybe, right? I mean, maybe. My point is, it could be done in theory, but are we really going to go get the asteroid? I mean, I hope we will. I hope we will. I don't know. There we go. Apple Destroyer, are you mad? Is someone erasing your stuff? All right. He says, erase my S one more time and I'll have you in court. Okay. I don't know if you're talking to me or not. I'm not erasing your stuff. If someone is, it's YouTube, and YouTube does it, by the way, in case you don't know that, all the time. YouTube decides that you're wrong. YouTube decides that you're bad. YouTube treats you like children. So if someone's erasing it, it's YouTube, not me. So anyway, I don't erase anything. You see, I put anything up. I don't know. I hope that's not for me. Maybe it is. So Any case, I don't know if that's for me or not. All right. Ryan yells, "And the Fed." Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. 100%. All righty. Andrea says, "Working from home is a perk." Agreed. Absolutely. Agreed. Yes. Ryan goes on to say, and the IRS too. Yep. All right. Let's see. Barbara says, "Trump will walk. They have nothing on him. Out of 92 charges, LOL, dumbest 4 years we've ever had. Trump won. Relax." I think Trump is not walk. What's the word? He's not going to walk. I mean, he was convicted. He's not going to walk. But you're right. He's not going to get any sentence. They're not. I mean, they're going to go. They're going to go, "You're bad," and then the judge will grandstand because judges love grandstanding. The judge will grandstand, Barbara. That's what it'll be. The judge will just be like, "And I'm smart, and Trump, shame on you for your bad words," or whatever. It'll be a grandstanding event for the judge, and then Trump will walk out. I agree with you, but he's not going to walk. He's still convicted, but he's not going to jail. He's not going to go to jail. He's not getting like an ankle bracelet. None of that. I agree. The judge is going to grandstand and shame him. That's what's going to happen, and then he's going to go off. That's it. So yes. Nate says, "Why can't dollars value just match the quantity of gold we have? Instead of finding an asteroid with 75% more gold than we have, just decrease the value of the dollar to match. $7,800 an ounce isn't too crazy." You could do that. You could. And I don't want to say you can't. You can. It's literally what Milei did in Argentina. He just lowered the value of the peso. You can do it. The problem is it's so overblown. That's the problem. We're so deep in this. We're so overblown. I think we wind up having a dictatorship. That's my worry. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, Nate, but I don't think so. I think our nation would just burn down. I'd burn down. Phil goes on to say, "You're right, Nate. This requires U.S. government to admit they were lying about the value of the dollar." Yes. Yes. They'd have to. Nate, the government would have to admit how bad it is, how wrong it is, that it has no gold, because we probably don't have any, right? And the amount of gold that it has nowhere near the value of the dollars we put out there. And they would have to admit that we just made the money, which they don't want to admit that either. So all of that will be trashed. So you're not wrong. I'm just saying it's virtually impossible to do with the way our system is now. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. Nate says, "It isn't too crazy considering the very real benefit of having gold-backed currency. Won't the benefit outweigh the damage? I'm just not sure how stable currency would destabilize the country." You're seeing some of the pain already in Argentina. You are seeing some pain. There is some pain in Argentina now. Their poverty rate actually went up for the first year. You are seeing some damage now. Americans are going to have far worse than Argentina. Will, in the long run, what you're saying work? Yes. Yes, long run. How does America, the consumer country that we are, the I need my newest iPhone country that we are, the I'm already X thousands of dollars in debt that we are, how does this country deal with that massiveness? Within a year, I think it's chaos. That's my worry. But look, if they want to do it, I'll deal with it. I'm with you. I'm just saying I don't think that country can handle it. So, yeah. It just seems like too much. Grace says, "Larry watches CNN, so we don't have to." It's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yes. Jose says, "A ton of politicians in the USA on both sides of the aisle need to be in prison for treason and financial malfeasance." Yes. Yes. The AC says to Jose, "Pretty much anyone rich needs to be." Not anyone rich. When I get rich, no. Okay. See, so everybody except when I get rich. I'm the exception. So no. But yes, everyone else, sure. It's not me. Yes, I'm the exception. I'm like President Trump. He's the exception, right? We already said that. So there we go. Yes. John says, "Larry, I saw a meme today that had the quote, muscle derangement syndrome." I guess that's next. Is that the next one? I like that. That's the next one. That's good. Missy says, "If you curse when you type, YT will delete the comments." Yeah, sometimes YouTube does delete comments. It does sometimes. So yes, it is. This isn't me deleting comments. It's not me. If someone's deleting your comments, it's not me. You see this stuff I put up here. I don't delete comments. It's not a thing that I do. So yes. Christine says, "Some of my comments have disappeared too." Yeah, it's not me. They're just doing it. Yep. Grace says, Larry, you are right. This country is too politically unstable to match the dollar with the amount of gold we have. And then if it fell apart, people would freak and want daddy to come save them. That is exactly my worry. That's exactly my worry. Mike says, people don't realize the hyperinflation globally if gold is revalued. If the dollar fails before another country takes hold, and probably even they do, the economics is hard and harsh. I'm with you, Mike. I think it's this. We're in a bad spot. Nate is correct in what he's saying. He's not wrong. A stable currency, a solid currency is a good idea. But we threw that away decades ago. And now we've been living on credit for decades. And so is the individual American, consumer has also been absolutely living on the same thing. So again, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying it's so hard. It's so hard to do right now. It just really is. So yes. Peter says YouTube and Rumble comments don't combine. Also true. Yes. All righty. Let's see here. Grace says, what appeals to me about libertarian philosophy is that we want everyone to prosper. Yes. Agreed. Yes. Jay says, I wish Javier would have created a gold-backed currency for Argentina. I don't think he, yes. I don't know if, does Argentina even have enough gold to do that? I'm not sure it could. His concept was to just tag his currency to the dollar. I don't think he's going to do that anymore. But that's why he was going to do it. Yes. But I think you're probably asking a lot of him. As I've done a whole show on Malay, I think overall, he's absolutely been a success overall. But there have been problems, right? To do what he has to do, it's not going to be easy. And some people are going to suffer and some have. I think it's absolutely true. So AC says 1932, wasn't it? That's when he took all the gold. Was it that? 32, 33? Something like that. I think he did. Yeah. I think that's true. I don't remember exactly, but I think that's true. Guys, I'm going to ask you one more time. Click the button that is like. If you haven't shared or reposted, please do so now. Please subscribe if you could. It's important. When you subscribe, please click the select all notifications. Super chat me. I love them when you can. Membership is always a good idea if you can. We love membership. $49 per month is the best thing. Again, if you have it, don't do what lunatics doing. If you have it, that's it. And don't burn your money. I like the other guy would. Abe wanted to burn his money. Abe, don't burn your money. Give it to somebody local. Don't burn it. Burning's dumb. Don't do that. Listen to me on this one. I know you don't want to listen because you don't like me, but still, I'm right. Don't burn your money. Give it to somebody locally. But no matter what, click that button known as like. It does matter tremendously. Please, let's do that. Click that button as like. I know I bug you, but it does matter. Guys, I'm going to be on again tomorrow at 7. Not sure what I'm going to be doing yet, but I won't be working as much tomorrow, so I'll be on time, I hope. We will do that if that's possible. I would like to see you guys then. Please, after this is over, make sure you leave a comment. Here's what I'm going to ask you. What should we use to back the dollar? Should it be gold, cryptocurrency, both, silver, or maybe do you actually just want to use cryptocurrency or whatever the case may be? I don't know. Maybe you like the fiat currency. Oh, Jackie. Okay. This one I'll do real fast before we go. What's your favorite sport? My favorite sport. I don't really watch that many sports anymore. I only watch championship sports now. But when I actually did play, my favorite sport, you can see it if you look at my picture on my YouTube page, is baseball. I grew up by Yankee Stadium. I played baseball when I was a kid. As I got older, I stopped playing because I moved to Long Island. We didn't play baseball anymore. We played football and hockey. So I miss it. But I've always missed baseball. I've always loved baseball. I go to Yankee games at least once every year. I still go. Even though it costs a gazillion dollars, I don't care. I still like it. And by the way, I'm in my 50s, and I can still throw a strike. Yes, that picture you see is me throwing a strike. And I actually have video proof of it. Anyway, guys, have a great night. I will see you all very soon.